At the start, let me begin by thanking the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry, Mr. Meleti Mbanimarama, and the Head of Cooperation for the Pacific Delegation, Mr. Christoph Wagner, for making the time for this event. I understand how busy we can all be, so this is very much appreciated. So, for those of you who may not know me, I've actually been working very closely with the water and sanitation sector for a very long time. So, in the space of building resilience, it would be around things like floods and droughts. But I've got a new hat now, and for those of you who don't know, I've just recently been appointed to head up the Disaster and Community Resilience Program of the Pacific Community. And as such, it is my great pleasure to be here with you today, to be a part of this handover event. Some of you will already know that the emergency vehicle being handed over today was funded by the European Union through the Building Safety and Resilience in the Pacific project, which is being implemented by the government of Fiji in partnership with the Pacific community. The vehicle, as I understand it, will be used as a mobile emergency operations center, and in that capacity will support the NDMO in coordinating national disaster planning, as well as support the work in national disaster awareness, something that is greatly needed, I am told. The emergency vehicle is also part of a much broader scope of work carried out by the project. And to give you a little bit of a snapshot of this work, I'd like to share with you a few examples. I am told 2 weeks ago the project opened a newly refurbished Tavua Emergency Operations Center, which is the third of 5 emergency operations centers the project is working to refurbish here in Fiji. In October of last year, the project, alongside the NDMO, successfully supported the relocation of Tukuraki village in the province of Ba. And at the moment, there is ongoing work to review and update the National Disaster Management Plan and complete an integrated vulnerability assessment tool to increase understanding of community disaster risk and strategic development. I also think it's important to mention here that the project strongly supports a national approach to disaster resilience by working to strengthen national frameworks and operational systems here at a country level. Through all this work, I'm certain that Fiji has some good examples to share with the rest of the region in demonstrating a multifaceted approach to strengthening resilience to the impacts of disasters in a changing climate, and from community all the way through to cabinet. Once again, I extend my sincere thanks to the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Mbanimarama, and his team for accommodating the handover today, and to our ongoing partners, the European Union, for continuing to support development in the area of building resilience to the impacts of a changing climate and disasters. And finally, I would also like to thank Joanna and her team for organizing this handover today, and all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, which I know all too well, to make this all happen. So, Vinaka Vakalevu, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of this event.
Mbula, Vinaka Vakalevu, Permanent Secretary, Deputy Director. I also want to extend our thanks to everybody who has organized this event. As it was said, behind the scenes, everybody knows that there's always a lot of work involved in this. I think what I would like to say at this occasion are actually 3 things. First of all, for the European Union, working with the Pacific on climate change is crucial. It is crucial because we see it as a common challenge. Also in Europe, we are very much exposed to the effects of climate change in many ways. Just recently, there was a cold spell in the north, which was caused by a shifting of the cold of the North Pole down south. So it was warmer up there than further down. A very unnatural kind of way of weather patterns. And this is just one example. There are all the time new examples of how we are in Europe are exposed. We want to express our solidarity with the Pacific, because obviously the Pacific Islands are one of the most exposed countries in the world, while you are not the ones who are originating, are not the causing climate change. So we are working closely with the Pacific on the political front, in the COP level, but also in climate adaptation, in looking at national determined contributions and how we can support the individual governments, countries, communities to become more resilient and more adapted. So that was my first point, the general one. Secondly, regarding Fiji, we are very proud of working with the government on Fiji, also after Winston, where we provided particular support, because we feel there is a genuine effort to turn the country more resilient, and all these different levels, starting at the community village level, but also going further than a divisional level, the private sector, working with investors, working on infrastructure, and all these different issues you have to think about when it comes to resilience. It's a different type of mindset which has to kind of infiltrate all of the policies. And it takes a bit of time, and it takes a bit of research and knowledge and planning. So we are happy that we can work with the Fiji government on this, and through SPC, I have seen there for this program there are 2 million Fiji dollars so far spent in Fiji, and this is not one or two actions, but many small actions, but all of them are very important, a little piece of the puzzle, so to say, where you can make a little difference. So that's my second point. My third point now, particularly for the NDMO, it's very important to have a functioning organization which is in charge of preparing, working with all the different institutions, government bodies, divisions, community level, to make the society prepared for disasters, and during the disasters react in the right way, and afterwards also to respond quickly. This type of institutional setup, linked to a plan, as you mentioned, and to overall government policy is crucial. So we are very happy that we can support in this relatively small way the NDMO. And I know other donors are also involved here, providing assistance, and it's very important to have this network in place where you can work with others and where you strengthen your institutional capacity. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nisam Bulabinaka, and a very good morning to you all. Today is an exciting day for the National Disaster Management Office, because we have again gained another strategic asset which can greatly impact the way we conduct any emergency operation. In the current day and age of emergency operation communication technology, versatility is important for any robust operation. Government requires real-time information to be able to respond to any emergency. Versatility requires adaptability and flexibility, and we need to move out of the status quo of a stationary emergency operation to one where we have the ability to be positioned within proximity of the affected areas. The European Union, through the Pacific Community and Building Safety and Resilience project, has procured a specialized vehicle to be used as a mobile emergency operation center, MEOC. The MEOC is a fit-for-purpose vehicle which I've been told will be fitted with the proper communications equipment. This equipment is important for any disaster event, as it improves our ability to collect and relay back information, data and images to the primary emergency operations center. The command vehicle can also be deployed to any forward location to support the need to have eyes on the ground and to relay vital information in real time. This will mean that we can have the NDMO operating at a strategic location to support any disaster operation at both divisional and district levels. This vehicle is another addition to our pool of strategic assets. We currently have one Icon vessel and 4 sea lake boats. These assets will greatly improve our level of mobility, as it can allow us to operate on land as well as in water, whether it is in the river or out at sea. I note that the divisional commissioners are also present here today, and this vehicle is very important in our collective effort to build resilience at the community level. This vehicle will be our flagship when it comes to conducting any awareness, such as the conduct of tsunami drills or community awareness exercise in the 4 divisions. It will also support the need to improve our visibility in any emergency operations. I am being told that we will be having the 2nd tsunami drill next month in April for those government agencies along the SPC wall. These are for those ministries housed within the GCC complex, the Fiji Police Force and Fiji Revenue and Customs Services. This vehicle will greatly assist the National Disaster Management Office work in coordinating the evacuation and dissemination of vital information to those participating in the tsunami drill. The Central Division will also be having a roadshow in Telebu North. This vehicle will be instrumental in supporting this work via the conduct of awareness in schools and communities within the surrounding areas of the road show by both NDMO and the Fiji Meteorological Services. The new MEOC will motivate officials to work better during emergency operations, thus improving the services provided to the people and reducing response time by providing quicker and better quality services. With those few words, I would like to sincerely thank the European Union and the BSRP, SPC, not only for the provision of this strategic asset, but also the partnership, which is augured well for the ministry in tackling disaster-related issues. And I look forward to a stronger partnership for the future. And thank you.